Good morning. It's Johnny Sunshine. Look at my eyes, man. They are just totally inflamed, man. Bad for some reason. Taking a turn for the motherfucking worst, guys. I really can't see either anymore, man. I don't know.
Fucking Mr. McCool's Plumbing. Can I help you? Yeah, we don't have any lights in our house, but the toilet's not flushing. Don't worry, ma'am, I can't see shit anyway, so I do it by feel now. Yep, oh, that's a turd.
It's Sunday morning, guys. It's 7 o'clock. I've been up since 6. I slept a lot yesterday when I came home. It was exhausting getting up early, and traffic. I drove at least 3 hours yesterday, all told. Not a lot of fun. The dogs are happy. They realize, like old Gussie, I can't believe all the hair he was carrying around with him, man. The poor bastard. He must have been really uncomfortable, man. So I gotta, Bella, she takes care of herself, man. Bella wasn't bad at all. Like, she didn't need much. But Gussie, he's gonna need to get that shit done. I'm gonna have to find somebody local who can do that. Because the travel's just too much. I mean, I love going up there. I love checking out all the puppies, and she's always on the edge of kicking me off her property, but I like her, you know? Strange, man. I want to show you something I got in the mail yesterday. I ordered them. We used to use these a lot when I first started plumbing. I've been using a lot of these bag traps, and unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, when you use a bag trap, you're going to need an extension tailpiece. So what I ordered were these glue-on, solvent weld is the term if you wanted to look them up, solvent weld extension tailpieces, and you just glue it on like a dishwasher T under a sink, or if you needed 1.5 inches, I don't know if you can get these 1.25 inches. We used to use them back in the day, back in '88. We used to use these because we were still putting lift and turn, not lift and turn. We were doing trip lever tub wastes on these massive Roman tubs. So we had to extend the overflow tube and then buy another section of linkage about 4 inches to get that trip lever to work on a big Roman tub or garden tub, whatever you want to call it, jacuzzi. But I got a whole box of these things because I seem to be running out of them because of the fact that every time I put a trap in, a bag trap, I need an extension tailpiece. So, and this just looks like it was meant to be. Other than, when you see an extension tailpiece, at least for me, it looks like, oh, that was a fuck up. You know what I mean? So, I like these. They are expensive. You used to be able to buy them for about a fucking $1. Now I think they were like $4 or something, man, from supplyhouse.com. If I did a little research, I could probably find them a little cheaper. But it's a great thing to have on your truck, man. Get you some. Here's the number. Whoa, Jesse. Johnny got a whole case of it. What does it say? Part number P37025, 1.5 by 12 inch PVC solvent extension tube. I wonder. You must be able to. Let's do a little search and see if I can find a 1.25 inches. Inch and a quarter tubular solvent extension tube. I think we got it. Nope. It's got a nut on it. 1.5 inches. Nah. I'll look into that because I would like to have some 1.25 inches, you know. So I gotta work today, guys. It's Sunday, man. I gotta go hook up a kitchen sink for somebody. It should be pretty easy. It's a single bowl. I'm hoping I can. Most likely it's, I don't know, you know, the track home, so it could have had an end outlet waste, so that'll work. If it had 2 traps, I was gonna turn one of them into a clean out, and then put it back together. But it's, you know, it's always a challenge when you're getting stuff that was taken apart, and then you hope all the parts are there. And then after that, man, I gotta go do a stoppage, but it's raining, man. It's a little wet outside right now, man, which is great. We need it. My grass needs water. But Johnny's gotta work today, Jackson. Slept good as hell, man. I gotta tell you, I tried that little pen. I don't know what you call them, man. But I hit the button, took a little. That's it, man. Just a small puff, man. And I went to bed. And I slept good, man. I went to sleep quick. So we'll see how this is gonna work out. I'm not a big fan of that feeling of, you know, pot. It's just not my thing. So hopefully I can find something that's going to help my eyes, man, because they're just getting bad. I don't know if it's because of the dust in my house, the pollen down here in Florida, man. I don't know, man. The fact that we don't get any goddamn rain anymore is unfucking believable. Usually this shit gets washed away, you know what I'm saying? But we don't, it never fucking rains in Southern Florida now anymore at all. The fucking Everglades, you can walk across them because there ain't no water there, man. Yeah, it's just because, you know, just because. According to Ron DeSantis. It's getting too expensive down here to live, guys. These people are just fucking picking us clean, man. With this new bullshit about the dogs and having to buy liability insurance. Once it's the law, then they can, when it's not optional, if it's optional, the price stays good, you know? But once it becomes the law, now they have a license to steal. And the price doubles, triples, quadruples, goes up 10 times what it should be. I don't know how many people get attacked by dogs in Florida, but I can only imagine that it is less than 1/10 of 1% of the population here, but that's good enough for them. They got a case that they can hang their hat on. This lady got mauled, so we're gonna make everybody pay. It's bullshit. It's a means to an end. You know what I'm saying, guys? We've seen it before. These guys are not about making America great again. They're about making themselves rich at our expense. And they keep tabs on us, man. They know just what we can afford. They want us all working and giving them all their motherfucking money for nothing. Insurance. Man, we need insurance reform in this country. Just look at how much we pay for insurance, man. In Florida now, if you own a home, you're going to have to pay homeowners insurance. You're going to have to get a separate policy for the cars in your driveway. You're going to have you don't have to, but you have medical insurance. Now you got to insure your dogs. If you're a business owner, you got to have business liability. You have to have workers' comp if you have fucking employees. And then medical coverage for all of them, you know. It's just incredible how far the insurance industry is from what it was when it started, man. It was an option, and they made it. It was cheap, man. Now it's just over the top, just stealing our fucking money, man. You know, when the CEO is floating around in a fucking $500 million yacht, they may be charging a little too much. Ring-a-dingy-dingy. This I'm gonna ring when I say something that you should highlight. We'll just put that back up there because there probably won't ever be anything that you need to remember. So I told this lady I'd be there at 10 o'clock today. Why she couldn't have just said, hey, no problem, just come Monday, you know? No. I'm gonna pay. She's gonna pay, Jackson. That's all I can say. It ain't my problem that these countertop companies are always done late Friday. I don't know how that works out, but my truck's a total mess. Maybe today I'll get to use that I-95 sewer machine. That'll be a good thing. I'll get out there and test it out, see how it works. I still look through Craigslist, and there are so many drain cleaning setups, man. I think a lot of guys buy into this thinking they're going to make a lot of money drain cleaning as a side gig because you don't need to be a licensed plumber to do it. And they realize quickly that phone don't ring, man. It's very hard to get your phone to ring if you're a business. It takes time, man. It's the bottom line. You can spin your wheels. You can do all kinds of crazy shit trying to get that phone ringing. And if you only spent more time conversing and making a good impression on the people that you do know, you gotta get them people to give your name to their friends, man. That's how you build a business. You don't rely on Google, because when you call up and say, hey, I'm interested in getting a good presence on Google, and they say, oh yeah, we'll get you to #1, and they tell that to everybody. It's a fucking... That ain't how you build a business. I mean, I guess it works, but the good old-fashioned way of building a business is one customer at a time, and you do them right, and you give them extra business cards, and you tell them to tell their friends. You can even offer them a discount, you know. I don't do all of that. I gotta say, old Mikey Pipes, man, he's in the exploiting homeless people business now. Jesus Christ, this guy and his fucking ideas. Where's he come up with this shit? We're gonna interview a homeless guy out in front of the fucking house. Yeah, out in front of the shop. Exploitation of the homeless. The poor bastard's sitting there shivering, shaking. He's got the shakes, man. Delirium tremors, I think, or something it's called. Give the guy, Mikey. The guy said he likes Jack Daniels. Go buy a case of that Jack, the little bottles. Give the guy one every day. I know you're that would be enabling him, but Jesus Christ, man. Sometimes you need a fix. And when he's shaking like that, the poor guy's struggling, man. And you're asking him questions. He's like, come on, man. All I need is a drink. I don't need to be answering all these questions. Have you ever been married? What the fuck's that have to do with anything, Mikey? Come on. I think he's a cool old guy, man. I think he was probably, and still is, man, a very gentle soul. I think he was, the tough world, man, for all of us, but I just have to say it's even tougher for black guys, man. It's simple as that, guys. You can blame it on them, do whatever, but it's tough to be black in this country, man. As simple as that. That's what I believe. You can disagree, but that poor bastard, no different than the rest of us. We all have our addictions and alcoholism. A lot of fucking alcoholics out there. That guy's no different, but I pray for that old man. Fucking gets up every day and looks sharp as hell, man. I gotta say, he's fucking... He looks like a presentable homeless guy. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker's styling, Jackson. Mikey, next episode, take him to a fucking Asian nail salon. Get his motherfucking hands done so he can start... I'm not sure he's, I'm not sure he's a great guitar player, but whatever. I love the way you gave him that guitar, and then you might have said to him, yeah, we're just going to keep it right here in my shop so that you don't walk down the street and sell that motherfucker for a 12-pack or something. 16-ounce Schlitz. Heffin' ref. I grew up in the hood, man. So the alcohol that everybody was drinking in the hood was like Heffin' Reffer, Miller Low Life, Old English, Daddy was right there with him. But I was a Bud guy. I drank Bud. Oh, hang on. Chinese food fight. Chinese food fight. That's a Chinese food fight. Whew. Whew. Jackson. Gussie, did you do that? I gotta show you these guys, man. Come here, buddy. Get up here. Come on, Benno. Look at how beautiful Benno is. Oh, her hair feels so good. It's so sweet. And I love that perfume you're wearing. Anti-flea medication. Yeah. Come here, Gussie, you skinny little sucker, you. He's like, I ain't skinny, I'm heavy as fuck. He is, man. And somebody asked me, did Gussie get back in the truck on his own after he was done? No. The last thing Gussie did was I picked him up and he pissed on my foot, man. I had to go hose my foot off. I had sandals on and he literally pissed on my goddamn foot when I picked him up and put him in the car. But he was cool driving. He wasn't all stressed out. He'll get used to that. And I really need to be a little bit more serious about dog ownership. You know, my thing is just let the dog be a fucking dog, you know what I mean? But the girl's like, well, he's never been on a leash, and you can see how he reacts to it. I mean, you literally have to drag him. He does not like shit around his neck, which Can't say I blame the motherfucker, you know what I mean? Who the fuck likes that? Unless you're some kinky fucking wagadoo. She said, what would you do if your house caught on fire? I'd run the fuck out. I'd grab my dogs and get the fuck out. I'd break a fucking window, do whatever I have to do. She said, but now they're outside. I said, listen, man, my dogs come to me when I call them, most of the time. Some of the time. And they're right under my feet all the time, man. I will rescue you. Thank you. You did rescue me. Get you some. So I'm missing some code books, man. I was gonna show you some of the books that I have up here that I've accumulated over the course of my life. Starting with my recovery, man. Still have all these books, man. And I needed to read them. I just don't know where my other code books went, man. Oh, here they are. Under a fucking pizza box. Could you imagine? Son of a bitch. So I want to show you. Shut up, Bella. Shut up before I take you back to the fucking dog groomer. Alright, so we're going to talk about this. This was in 1988. I started studying for my journeyman test immediately when I got out of the fucking Navy. This is the handbook that came along with the code book. And I've got a lot of good shit in here, man. From 1988. A bunch of tabs for setting up my code book. I think I even have in this one, maybe the paper. I've got a bunch of formulas, you know. No. That might be in the next one. I took my master's. I may have bumped that thing over into this book. But I want to show you what the code is in so it says the initial edition of the SBCCI Southern Building Code Congress Institute handbook is based on the 1988 Standard Plumbing Code published by the Southern Building Code Congress International. Oh, I said Institute. This handbook is intended to be used as a guide for interpreting, for interpreting various provisions of the plumbing code. It is not the sole authority on matters of interpretation. Final authority rests with the local and state officials charged with enforcing and interpreting the standard plumbing code. So what they're saying is, yeah, we can tell you as much as we can about it, but it's still open to interpretation. So that's where you get into pissing matches with plumbing inspectors. And I say, if it doesn't cost you anything, fucking just put it in the way the asshole wants it and get down the road. I ain't got time to be fucking, going through this fucking battle of fucking wits with people, As explained in the author's preface, this handbook addresses only those sections of the Standard Plumbing Code which commonly cause questions regarding interpretation. In those instances, code sections are printed in color, while appropriate commentary and illustrations are printed in black. Okay. That's what I was looking for. So the code's in red and the interpretation is in black. So let me look up fixtures. The first one I want to talk about is, let's see if they have anything about caulking toilets. I actually should probably spend a little bit of time so we use two-way cleanouts, man, in Florida. We don't get into all that bullshit with the two combos in opposing directions. Just put a fucking two-way cleanout in there. What the fuck, man? And if you're having a problem getting your cable to direct it in the direction you want to go, all you have to do is take a fucking, however deep it is, take a piece of 2-inch pipe, cut it on a 45 on the bottom, stick it in there, and draw a line on that side all the way to the top, and make sure that line is in the direction that you want the cable to go. Simple as that, in a two-way cleanout. You can even use a 3-inch pipe on a 4-inch cleanout. So all of this extra bullshit is just, I look at something like this, like that's just two, now we got two things that can get broken, you know? So Alright, so I'm going to get into this book a little bit, guys, with you. And we're going to talk about a lot of shit, man. I did pretty good on this this test. And on my journeyman test. It was actually like a 2 or 3 story 32 unit building, hotel or something that I had to do, and I scored very well on the test, man. I did good. I knew what the fuck I was talking about, more so than even my bosses, you know, because I was fresh in the book, you know, and I was like, man, you guys, that's not right. Hey, you were doing shit that's wrong, and I bring it up, and then they'd look into it, and they're like, okay, we're gonna have to change this. And one of the things that I realized, and a lot of guys, you know, were doing this, when I took my master's test, I was now studying not only plumbing, you know, to pass the plumbing portion of the test, but I was getting into the business and law of it. And my boss was one of those guys, the second guy that I worked for before I went into, the last guy I worked for before I went into business. He'd pay you when you come in the morning, when you get to the shop, and then he'd want you to stay out at that job until the end of the day, and then drive home from the job on your own time. And when I went to the business and law, we were talking about it, and the law, guys, is shop to shop. You get fucking paid from the time you leave that shop until the time you return to that shop. So if you're out there and you're fucking driving home on your own time, and I told my boss, I said, you know, listen, guy, I've been with you for a couple of years. I've been doing this shit for a long time, and I've been getting 40, 48 hours a week in with you. All of those trips home were fucking overtime, son. So you owe me a lot of money. And he changed his ways when I brought that up. I said, hey, man, you know, and it's, you know, it's like unions, you know. They get a bad name because they're holding the people with the money, they're holding their feet to the fire. They're not letting them get away with shit that they would try to get away with without somebody who knows what the fuck is up. They will take it, believe it or not, guys, in America, employers will take advantage of you if they can, you know. If they could get you to work for fucking free, they'd love it. So anyways, shop to shop, man. That's what you get paid. shop to shop. You leave in the morning, and when you return, that's on your boss, man. And he needs to consider that when he's estimating jobs. He's not gonna be able to lowball a price because he doesn't have to pay me to drive his rig back to the shop every day. And I'm sure there are guys watching this right now thinking, motherfucker, that's what I'm doing. It's called Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, and you should probably read it. I got a book over here, Fair Labor Standards Act, and get an up-to-date one. I mean, with Donald Trump, you might as well throw all of that shit out because he's just unregulation, deregulation. Let them do whatever they want. Get them goddamn 4-year-olds working again. Yeah. Deregulation. Wow, just what we need. Huh. They're gonna leave us with a big ass mess to clean up, guys, and they're gonna run away with all the money. You can't see it though. You can't see it. Remember those commercials back in the fucking early 70s and late 60s? The fucking Indian on a canoe with all the fucking pollution. We're going back there. We're changing it back. We're going to make America great again. Yeah. So I got a couple of questions. When you come into a toilet, you use either a 3-inch 90. You can use a 90. I would never use 3-inch coming up to a toilet. It's just a disaster. The toilet will never function properly. It'll just be a pain in the fucking ass the whole time. Sometimes you have to do it if you have no other option, but I always run 4-inch up to a toilet. Can anybody tell me how long that pipe can be, the drop into a toilet sweep or a closet bend? The other thing, what's the max length on a 2-inch washing machine riser? What's the max length on a shower riser? Let me know. Let me know, yo. That house the other day I worked on, they were stretching the limits on that toilet. They ran 3-inch. They cut the hole big enough that you could drive a truck through it. And it was a fucking disaster, man. And that pipe was over the limit. Would be my guess. Chapter 14. Let me get the fixtures, man. Nobody told me that living was easy. And I ain't living in fear no more, motherfuckers. Definitions, man. Learn your definitions. So listen, guys. I have always said one of the questions was air gap. What's the minimum air gap? And some people would say 2 times the diameter of the pipe, which is correct. But what if that pipe coming out is only a 1/2 inch? It's not 1 inch air gap. The minimum air gap is 2 inches, guys. Never less than 2 inches. And this is the fucking photo that shows that. See this? Right here, minimum air. Where is it? What the fuck am I looking at? See that? It says minimum air gap, 2 inches. Now, if that was a 3-inch pipe, it would have to be 6 inches. Dig it? When you're figuring air gap, 1 inch is the minimum size pipe that you use in your calculation. So 2 times the diameter of a 1-inch pipe is 2 inch. That's it. Anything smaller than 1 inch, you got to stick with the 2-inch air gap. Trust me. Ba-da-da-da-da. It's interesting shit, man. I really loved plumbing, man, when I started. And I read this stuff, man. I've had my master's license for 30-something years, man. I've been a master plumber. And I read this stuff and I still remember it. What constitutes a dead end, guys? Somebody tell me. Are dead ends legal or illegal? What's the difference between a loop vent? What's the difference between a loop vent and a circuit vent? This one's a source of contention too. Traps. Trap seal. It only takes, man, a couple weeks, man, for that water, especially down here in Florida, for the water in a trap to evaporate, man, with the air conditioning and ventilation and shit. You got to make sure you tell your customers to be using we have all these Roman tubs, man, that nobody ever fucking gets in, and most of them have a bone-dried trap, and that's where their fucking bugs are coming from. Great diagrams of wet vents. This is how I plumb houses, man. You can see the wet portion of these diagrams, and how far can a toilet be from the point of vent? Somebody tell me that. How far can the trap be from a point of vent on an 1.5-inch pipe? Waste arm. How far can a 2-inch shower drain with a 2-inch trap underground? You can't put less than 2 inch in underground. 2 inches is the smallest pipe that can be underground. You can't run 1.5 under the slab. Skibby-dooby. So I'm gonna find this. I'm going to try to find this thing about the toilets, because I just don't get it, man. Why people are so averse to fucking caulking a toilet, man. If you're done setting a toilet and you can take your hands and twist that thing, it ain't done right. You ain't done with the job. Caulk the motherfucker, man. that thing's gonna move all over the place. Especially when you get some drunk with a fucking 3-foot wide ass fucking falling onto that motherfucker, man. The wax seal with a horn is not the problem. The problem is you. Great stuff, man. So I posed a few questions. I'll show you the answers. Water closet is 2 feet. That drop into a bend can't be more than 2 feet. A shower, 2 feet. Washing machine, 4 feet. Got it? And why is that? Why do they limit that? It's because they don't want it sucking the fucking trap dry. Everything in plumbing boils down to keeping that fucking water in that trap, guys. That's what it is. If you don't have a trap seal, you're fucked. You got methane running into the house, so. Wow. So crown venting. So here, there's a lot of talk about crown venting. Look at the diagram, guys. That's a crown vent. Read the fucking... See where they're measuring it from? I've seen videos online where these guys just don't know what the fuck they're talking about, man. Let me show you that again. It's up at the top. I don't know if you can see that. See that? Look where they're taking the measurement from. 2 times the pipe diameter. Say 4 inches. You need 4 inches between them 2 lines to be okay. And it usually happens on a washing machine. Most of the time, the issue is at a washing machine. So, a crown vent connection. The trap is crown vented unless this distance is 2 trap diameters or more. See this, guys? Double trapping. A lot of this shit comes into play when you are, like, say somebody wants to add a fucking washing machine. I mean, on the washing machine riser, they want to add after the fact. They want to add a laundry tub. is it permissible to tie onto that washer, that stack for the riser for the washing machine? And this is the diagram that states that it's okay, man, to do that. You just don't need a trap on that other one, so it's not double trapped. But I don't think even a double trap is a problem because the top of that washing machine is open. So I've never had an issue. I've done it a few times where I tied in a laundry tub after the fact. I put a T on the riser. I'm running a minor by a major. You know, it's I don't know. It's worked. That's all I can tell you. We're going to get into this, but I got to piss, man. And I'm going to end this video. I hope you have a great day, great Sunday. Be happy, man. Johnny got to work. I got to go get dressed, man. Take a shower, clean up. Take a shit. I don't have to shave, but I'm going to shit and shower. Yeah. Have a great day, y'all.